In August of 2021, the United States Census shows that white people are losing their numerical majority in this country. While on September 1st, 2021, the Supreme Court refused to block a Texas law that bans abortions after 6 weeks of pregnancy. Here's how they're related. On March 2nd, 1973, the New York Times publishes an article stating that the U.S. birth rate has dropped to a record low. They called it the birth dearth or the baby bust. They even go on to mention that this is happening in other industrialized countries. They understood that a decline in births, even in Europe, meant a decline in their numerical majority. So something had to be done in order to maintain their numerical majority. So in 1971, they began to attack abortions. At that time, 60% of all abortions were white, which is where Roe v. Wade comes in. In an attempt to maintain numerical majority, in December of 1971, they argued that abortions should be illegal. They re-argued it again in October of 72. And then on January 22, 1973, they made a decision. The courts ruled that the Constitution of the United States protects a pregnant woman's liberty to choose to have an abortion without excessive government restriction. At that moment, the fight to overturn Roe v. Wade began. But why? They knew that if a constitutional amendment overturned Roe v. Wade, they could expect an 11% rise in fertility rates and maintain their numerical majority. In 1979, a full 6 years after Roe v. Wade, at the behest of Paul Weyrich, Jerry Falwell and the evangelicals got involved. The reason behind it was simple. Being against abortion was more palatable than protecting segregated schools. Fast forward to 2010, and you notice a decline in white populations in all 50 states. This wasn't expected to happen until 2024. And it's most profound in populations under the age of 25. So what does that have to do with the Supreme Court's recent upholding of Texas's abortion law? It now puts Roe v. Wade back on the Supreme Court's docket, where we now have 5 conservative Supreme Court justices, 3 of whom were appointed by the 45th president. There are 3 liberal judges and 1 in the middle. If this new conservative Supreme Court overturns Roe v. Wade, we could expect an 11% rise in fertility rates, as well as an additional 440 births per year. The fight against abortion isn't a religious or moral one, but rather a fight to maintain numerical majority and maintain power in this country. Somebody asked, why is everything about race? Here's why.